What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk about Virgin Galactic, tickers SPCE. I want to give you a breakdown of some of the data points, what is happening today, and everything else that you need to know, including where I see things going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that, let's get right to it. So currently it is going down 6.55%. A new 52-week and all-time low was created at $2.05. A lot of eyes are on it though, so 16.85 million shares being traded. 11.6 is the average. And unfortunately, I did a video, I think last Tuesday, so almost a week ago, and I did say the technicals and the data points at that stage all did indicate that it was going to go down to around the $2.20 range, but I did not assume that it would have come this fast. So this is kind of crazy, but based on this though, I feel like people just kind of over the weekend just saw Virgin Galactic and their fundamentals just deteriorating. But in reality, all of this has been the writing on the wall for a while, ever since our Q2 earnings, on which they did say that within Q3 and Q4 that they were only going to earn about $1 million in revenue, which is just mind-blowingly high, considering I think they're estimated to have about 125 million in expenses. So as far as a risk versus return or reward, I guess essentially, is not necessarily there. So in reality, that's kind of why it's going down, at least in the short term, despite the news that did come out on, I guess, Friday or September the 8th. It just says Virgin Galactic completes 4th successful space flight in 4 months. So they definitely are keeping up the good momentum as far as that. One thing that I feel like they are missing is just a very big, well-known astronaut. And when it comes down to it, yes, they had the first research flight, and then the second one, I believe they had the Olympian and then the mother-daughter duo kind of scenario, but I feel like it's missing a very, very big name. So I feel like that is something that needs to happen sooner rather than later. But like I mentioned, as far as big money getting in, hasn't been any big transactions over $100,000 today, last being September the 7th. As far as dark pool, a couple transactions it looks like on the 8th, but other than that, nothing today. So as far as that goes, it's just a lot of smaller individual transactions. Looking right here, a little bit closer on the 1-year view. So as you can tell, looking at the momentum indicator shows number of retail investors have been getting out, but surprisingly over the last little bit, despite the price action, they have been holding. So I think a lot of people do generally believe in Virgin Galactic bigger picture, despite some of the warning signs. But like I've said in the past, if Virgin Galactic does exactly what they say they're going to do, yes, there's going to be some short-term pain, but it's going to definitely benefit in the long term. So make sure you guys always do your own due diligence, because as well, I am not a financial advisor. Stochastic is currently at 9, so that's considered very oversold. And yeah, same thing as RSI is saying the exact same kind of points for that. But a lot of people want to know what is coming next. So with it being at $2.14 right now, it is currently trading between this S2 and this S1. And nothing is worse than the broader market rallying, with the exception of, obviously, these are kind of the stocks that I'm watching right now. And the only two that are down is Faraday Future, and they're going through a whole different level of pain. And then there is Virgin Galactic. So it really, really sucks in that regard. But like I said, with it being at $2.13, it's between this S2 and this S1. So $1.97 is a point to really watch for, being the very next strong support. And $2.39 is going to be that next strong resistance. But as it stands right now, based on the options activity, currently there has been $279,000 in calls being purchased versus $217,000 in puts. So based on this information, and especially comparing it to the last couple days, there has been an increase in puts, meaning despite it being at $2.14, people are assuming that it is going to continue to trend down. And if you are looking at this shows all the puts right now. And right here, it is anticipated to be below, I guess, $1 by January the 19th. So kind of crazy to think of, but you never know. That might be kind of the trend where it is going on. As far as calls though, for those of you that are optimistic, it is anticipated to kind of be within the 2 to 250 range by the end of, it looks like constantly over the next several weeks. So clearly there's a little bit more of an assumption that this S2 is going to hold. So let me know your thoughts on that. But when it comes down to options activity, this is just merely a sentiment. It does not move the stock price. So make sure you guys just be aware of that. As of right now though, just quickly looking as far as on Interactive Brokers, it does show the latest Morningstar report, which did come out, I think, a couple or late last week. It does show the fair market value being $4.11. So let me know your thoughts on that. And as far as analyst ratings, the last being, it looks like August the 3rd, so 12 days ago, or looks like 12 days ago in general by Michael, who does have a 62% success rating, and from Trieste, whatever it is, but they gave a sell rating and a $3 target. But as I've said in the past, analysts have just always hated Virgin Galactic since the get-go, so nothing really abnormal there. If you are looking for a lot of good compiled information such as this, analyst ratings, the Morningstar report, and everything else that you need to know, it is completely free to have all this. Click on Interactive Brokers, link in the description below and also the comments to have all of this information. But getting right to it, as far as what shorts are doing, I'll give you an overview of that. So right now, short score is currently 74, utilization is 80.97%. And as far as what they're doing today, they are increasing 481,000 shares. So how I interpret this information, the fact that they are increasing on a very red day shows that they see it being justified. So kind of similar to what the options activity and the technicals are kind of pointing to. 18.75% of the free float is being shorted. 62.63 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow did have a little bit of a spike first thing, but 3.01% is so far what the cost per average is. And then looking right here under the Interactive Broker short availability, currently there is 2.1 million shares to be increased and I guess loaned out if necessary. So if shorts really wanted to double down, they can, unfortunately. So let me know your thoughts as far as what shorts are going to do. Do you think that there's ever going to be a short squeeze when it comes down to Virgin Galactic? I know at one time or another there was, but based on a lot of the data points, it's not looking good. So again, just to summarize, technically looking as far as this, not necessarily the best as far as options. Technicals do not look good by any means, but of course I don't need to tell you that. And then just shorts, the fact that they are increasing on a red day shows that they feel like it's justified. So once again, it's not necessarily the best. Those are kind of the three general points I like to look at to really dictate whether it's a good time to buy or not. So when it comes to it, watch that $2 mark, so $1.97 to really hold. If not, then you can anticipate to around $1.29. So what's your thoughts on that in the comments below? When I look on, for instance, Reddit for Virgin Galactic, you just see a lot of this kind of scenario. Just the fact that there is almost no interest. Even when it comes down to the recent space flights, it looks like there's only two things covering it, or two YouTube channels covering it. One of which is just an investment one. Second being just, I guess, a space themed channel. So overall, it's just not really there for investors. So once again, give yourself a shout out if you have been buying though, selling. What's your kind of take on Virgin Galactic? Are you losing faith? What's your viewpoint on all that? And take advantage, even though Virgin Galactic is going down, sideways, all over the place, take advantage of these types of promos. It is free to sign up for an account with Moomoo. Plus it also offers $0 commission, free level 2 trading. But if you throw $100 at the account, you get 5 free stocks. Each stock can be valued up to $2,000. So in among itself, that is one of the best deals that you can get. Link is in the description below and also the comments, and this is only up until September the 30th. So with all that said, appreciate you all watching, and let's eventually down the line make a lot of money on Virgin Galactic.